G'day folks, it's Mish here, and today we are going out metal detecting on the land for a change. I'm really excited about this one. I've got a beautiful old homestead property to detect today. Who knows what we'll find, so without any further ado, let's grab the gear and let's go hunting.
Let's get out, we can leave this city. Let's drive to the open air. Yeah, the countryside is so pretty.
Well, hello there folks, how are we all doing today? I'm doing pretty good today, you know. It's a lovely warm sunny day. In fact, possibly going to borderline on too warm, which is a refreshing change from the miserable weather we've been having down in my part of Australia. Now, as I mentioned, I'm out on quite a rural site today and it is a little bit breezy, so I'm standing on very specific angles, but I will show you some footage here. So I am operating nearby some power lines, which does present a bit of an issue. I'm going to show you my detector now, and I'm going to turn it up to where I'd normally have the sensitivity to, so somewhere up around the 20 mark, and I want you to see what the display does. You can probably hear it in my headset right now. It is going absolutely berserk due to the power lines in the vicinity, so I'm turning my sensitivity down. Now I've worked out that at about 13, 14, you can hear a little bit of chatter, but it's a lot more stable. So that's where I'm going to run it just for this particular spot, and then obviously as I move further from power lines, I'll crank the sensitivity right back up. That said, I do have a signal here. Let me see if I can find it again for you. It's around about here. Now it is quite faint. Hopefully you can see that. It's in the low 20s, low to mid 20s. And certainly worth some investigations. So let's have a little bit of a dig and see what comes up. Oh, there it is. Oh, I know what this is going to be. There'll be a few of you watching that have picked this one already, but those who don't know, this will be a little Australian 1 cent piece. It's a start, right? Folks, I would have said we're on to another 1 cent piece, because when I tried it from the other side it was a 22.23. Now it's more of a 20.21. Yeah, see, if I walk around, a bit hard to see, but it is slightly higher. Get you back out the wind. We'll see. Not far away at all. Ah. That only 1 cent. That, I want to say it's a drill bit. Maybe not. Have a definite spiral there. Oh, that's a bit unusual. It's not a drill bit, but I don't know what it is. If you know, do tell me. But I'm going to move on to the next target. Starting to wonder if I might be onto $1 here. Got a very clear 21, 22, occasional 23 there. We'll see. Now, the finds here, oh, there's a tree root there. Not surprising, because there's a tree there. What was I saying? I'm not expecting to find too many super modern finds today. It's not impossible, of course. I mean, people still live here, but the finds I'm expecting could be anywhere from sort of early 1900s. That's if I'm really lucky. But I think sort of 40s through to maybe 80s is kind of what I'm expecting. But you know what metal detecting's like. You'll go out with a plan and that plan will get tipped on its head. Now there is a massive tree root here. I do suspect my signal is under that side. So leave it with me for a minute, guys. Well, I've had a little bit more of a scrape. Now I have found a target down in this hole. And not really what I was expecting. Got myself a large coin, copper coin at that. Very worn. Now that's going to be a penny of some sort. I feel like I can vaguely see George VI on that side. But can I see? I think it might be a kangaroo penny. But give me a moment. Alrighty, and we're back. Now, it's going to be a little hard to see. This one hasn't cleaned up all that well. I might be able to get a little better for our wrap-up pics, but that is a 1950 kangaroo penny. And you can see most of George VI there on the obverse. So, yeah, pretty far gone, unfortunately. I hope that's not going to be the case with all the coins I find today, but that gives me some promise. Well, this is one way to wake up a detectorist. Swinging along, nothing, iron grunt, nothing. And then I get this. An absolutely plain as day. 33, 34 maybe. I wasn't going to miss that one in a hurry. That's got me a little bit excited. It is only shallow though, so maybe not in florin territory, but my goodness, I want to know what this one is. Now, quite often when I get excited about these ones, they turn out to be like a little bit of tin tubing or something to that effect. Certainly not an amazing silver coin. Or they turn out to be whatever that is. Not a coin. What is that though? Oh, okay, so this is a bit unusual. So it's kind of flared up on one side, and then if I turn it around, it's open on both sides. It might have some detail to it. It could just be a scrap bit of metal, who knows. Look, if I can clean it up and find anything on it, I'll let you know. There's definitely a little band running along the bottom here. That one's got me a little bit confused. Cool, we'll take it. Oh, folks, it's going to be a slow run to coffee money today. That's assuming I even get close to it. I'm not expecting too many modern coins. This one's semi-modern. We've got a 1 cent piece. It's our second one so far. So we've doubled our money. 2 cents on the board. Only $3.98 to go before I'm sipping a beautiful hot coffee, or maybe even an iced coffee today, being such a lovely warm day. We'll keep trying. Alright guys, I'm running alongside the homestead. Won't show you a great deal of it, maintaining the landowner's privacy on this one. However, I've got a cracking signal here. It was a jumpy 20 signal. Now this is a find I did not expect to find today. To give you some context, I am nowhere near the water. And I have just found the mother of all sinkers, complete with some sort of, what I think might actually be some sort of leather attachment. Yep, and then some old nylon fishing line or something, but I'd say it's been gone an extremely long time, and I've never seen an attachment like that before. So if you know anything about that, or how I could date it, let me know. It's a bit of a curious one, but again, not something I expected today. Now I came across a signal here, not too far from my massive sinker. Rang up a solid 21. I thought, oh no, here we go, sinker number 2. It's not. There's this, if it's what I think it is, it's something I would expect to find around a household. To me, it looks like some sort of hose fitting. Just the little end nozzle. I don't know, I could be wrong. That's certainly what it looks like to me. Do correct me if I'm wrong. Very, very solid. Cool, I'll take it. In this hole we've got a Jumpy 20s. Now as soon as I've turned the plug over, I've spotted this. And I think I know what it is. And if I'm right, it's a shame I don't have the full find. Yeah, it is what I thought it was. This is the front end of an old toy car. So I will give it a clean up and we'll try and work out what car it is. Oh, we've still got the wheel axle. So that's kind of cool. Doesn't look like we're going to get any ID off the bottom, and it does have some plastic components. They're not super old. But, I mean, hey, we'll do a bit of a scan around. Hopefully we can find more components. But it's always fun to find cars or bits of cars. Don't you think? Well, folks, I ended up stopping for a break. It's really warm and sunny out here. I've had to ditch the jumper. I've had to reapply the sunscreen. And we're back out for round 2. Now, I've come across a signal in the backyard of the homestead that sounds really interesting. So it's not a terribly strong signal, but I've got a fairly consistent 27 to 29. So fingers crossed, but I have just this little feeling that we're onto something good. Let's see if that turns out. Alright guys, I've come across the signal. Looks to me like we've got a coin, but I haven't had a good look yet. Alright, what do we have? It is another copper coin, and I can tell on this side that it is another kangaroo penny. Let me see if I can quickly get you a year. 1950... Let's say 1958 by the looks. Oh. And a visitor. Alright. Excellent. Second penny on the board. This one's in slightly better condition, I think, so hopefully this one should clean up pretty nicely. We've got a signal here that's a bit scratchy. But we're sort of sitting around the 30 mark. Now, as you can see, I've already dug the plug. And I believe, yes, I've spotted a coin down here. Here it comes. What have we got this time? It certainly looks to me like it's going to be another penny. And if I can have just a brief look at it, see if I can make out a monarch or anything at this point. Yep, we got George VI again. So we're keeping in line with the dates of the other finds. Meaning that this is definitely going to be a kangaroo penny. But give me a moment and I'll see if we can get a year. And here she is, folks, just slightly cleaned up at this point. But we've got ourselves a 1951 kangaroo penny. This one's probably in the best condition so far. I think this one will look very, very nice with the cleanup. Unfortunately, the patina's a bit uneven on the obverse. Poor King George has got a red nose. But that reverse is going to look just beautiful. Excellent. 3 pennies is not a bad day on a house property. Alright guys, time for another episode of What the Heck Has Mish Found this time? Let's give you a signal before we pull it out. Quite high. Oh. Like 32, 33, thereabouts. And we've got this, or rather these, there's more than one thing here. Oh, there's 3 things. What on earth? Okay, so these all look identical. There might be something written on them, but they might be completely plain too. I do not have the slightest clue what these could be. You know, if I just found one on its own, I would have thought, okay, maybe the top of a makeup compact or, oh, look, goodness knows what. But to find 3 all stacked together is very intriguing indeed. Now obviously if I find any detail on these, I will tell you guys. But failing that, I'm handing over to you to try and work out what these are. I'm sure the landowner's going to be equally confused and impressed, I think. Alright, let's take them and let's move on. Well folks, it's break time. Got my water, got my sunscreen, definitely need this at the moment. And I've got that amazing view. How good is this? The landowners have provided me with a delicious lunch. I'm really grateful for their hospitality today. And I've found a couple of good things so far, but I've still got a little bit of time up my sleeve, so we'll see how we go for the rest of the day. Well, it's Demolition Derby down here today, guys. This was a 1920 signal, and I've pulled out this. Now initially it just looks like a hunk of junk. That's what it is now, to be fair. However, once upon a time, you can see by the wheel that's clinging on for dear life here, this used to be some sort of toy car or truck. Now I don't think it's anything to do with the last car piece I got, because I'm quite a distance from that spot, but it is the same colour, so that's interesting. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna know what that is, although there is writing there. You know what, I think I can see the word Matchbox. It's larger than the average Matchbox car though. Anyhow, I'll clean it up, you know the drill. You're going to know as well, and hopefully I can get an ID on that. And let's see how much larger it was when it came out, because it's a bit flat now. We're not too far from my poor little flat toy car, and I got just a quiet 23-ish signal. I've already grabbed this target out. Actually wasn't convinced it was going to be anything good, you know. But we're on to another pre-decimal, and I think it's the day of the kangaroo today. Someone's gone and nicked it with their digger. How dare they? But we've got ourselves yet another penny, and this one looks to be a 1948. So unfortunately I've been a little bit rough with it, but we're continuing with our George VI with a little bit of corrosion on this one. But again, the reverse looks like it'll come up nicely. This is going to be a lovely little finds photo at the end, I think. Well guys, moving along to the outskirts of the property now, and I'm really surprised, you know, like we've found, what is it, 4 pennies so far. They've all been sort of the 1940s, 1950s range. I've actually been really surprised they haven't come across any silvers yet, so that is my goal. I'm hoping to find at least one little silver before I'm done. That said, the heat's starting to beat me. I don't know how much longer I'll be out here. But anyway, I actually think I might be on to penny number 5. So, we've got a 29.30 here. Sorry about the wind. Always plays havoc on my audio, but does feel rather nice on my back, I must admit. I tell you what, it is nice to have a summer-like day for a change. We've had some pretty miserable weather for this spring where I live. Quite cold, quite wet. The good part about it being so wet is that this ground is not too bad to dig still. Normally by now, getting close to summer, this ground gets a little bit dry and a little bit hard, which makes it harder for the grass to regrow. I feel pretty confident digging this at the moment. Alright, our target is in this clump somewhere. Alright, I've probably stomped it in. Good one, Mish. In here. Oh. Oh, oh. Oh, hello. What are you? You're rather ring-shaped. Oh, fingers crossed, guys. Oh, this is looking good. This is looking real good. I can't get it out. It's stuck in by the roots. I promise I'm not just holding it there for suspense, but we definitely have a ring here, guys. Get out of there. And going by those numbers, that would have to be silver, surely. Oh, look at that. Look at that beautiful ring. So it looks like just a pattern ring. Goes all the way around it. Now in terms of markings, let me see if I can get a better look. She's still pretty gruddy. And small too. I reckon this will be lucky to fit on my pinky finger. Oh, we do have markings. Stainless. No, not stainless. My goodness. Sterling silver. And sorry if it's a little bit shiny, but there is something else written there. I think it might just be a model number. Just a letter and a couple of numbers. No personal inscription. Ah, oh, awesome. That is going to be find of the day, I'm sure. But let's see what else we can do. Now, wasn't I just talking about not finding a silver? I swear I did not plant that. You guys saw me dig it. Oh, I honestly thought that'd be another penny. But I will certainly take that instead. Let's see what else we can get. Alright, we've gone from a spectacular find in that silver ring to we'll take it because we dug it find. This one will be a 2-cent piece that's, yep, met the mower at least once. Have a look at the side of it. A little bit twisty, that one. I will point out too, for anyone who thinks I'm just plucking pennies and rings at every target, I'm finding a ton of these as well. But I figure I'm using your valuable YouTube time. I don't really want to give you the pull tab anthology. But yep, probably a dozen of those or so in the bag. It's all about cleaning up the place and leaving it better than I found it, so I take those too. Yeah, okay, this is interesting. So I'm miles away from where I started this hunt, and if you recall earlier in the hunt I came across a sinker. I'm nowhere near a beach or ocean or anything like that. I got a really strong signal in here. You know what's coming. That is pretty much an identical sinker to what I just found earlier. No attachment on this one. But again, really far from where I've started. What on earth is going on here? Now the current landowners will have no idea. They've not owned this property a great deal of time. So that's going to remain a mystery. But that's quite a lot of lead. It'd have to be nearly 100 grams of lead right there. Sweet. I'll take it. Well, now I've moved on to an area that the landowner suggested I try. They said there might be a few drops here and there. It's a spot where people regularly sit. Now so far I have come across some junk. A couple of pull tabs, a big old iron stake that I couldn't even get out of the ground, so I left that one in there. And a good old 5-cent piece. So slow going in this spot, but you know, there's still a little bit of it to check, so we'll cover it thoroughly. Always happy to act on tip-offs. And yeah, then we might get out of the sun. I think I'm starting to burn up a little bit. I think we're nearly done now, guys. Another 10 signal for another 5-cent piece. And you can probably hear it in the tone of my voice, but the heat's well and truly getting to me now. But, I mean, the view's just gorgeous. It's really hard to stop filming and digging on days like this. Well, guys, here's a find I didn't expect today. This one rang in at a 21.22. Not expecting many modern finds, but I've come across a $1 coin, which is nice. I'm not going to get anywhere near coffee money today, but that is very much a spendable coin in my books, and that will go towards either a coffee or buying more gear for the channel, so it's a win-win either way. Well, folks, that's it. I am calling it a day. I am exhausted. I've been digging targets non-stop for the last few hours. Mostly junk, of course, but as you know, we found quite a few little pre-decimal coins, and we found that beautiful little silver ring too. I'm going to have some nice cleaned up photos of my finds straight after this, so stay tuned for those. In the meantime, take care, stay safe, and I will catch you on my next adventure. Cheers, guys.